Hello guys, thank you and welcome to my channel. This is Anthony, and I do take this time to welcome all of you who have tuned in today. It's my pleasure to have all of you once again, and I pray that our episode today will add benefit to you and it will make sense to you. As we have been doing, we are still continuing with our mini series titled Leadership Talks, and in our today's topic I'd like to focus on an aspect that impacts young leaders, which has to do with self-esteem. So the topic for today is the self-esteem quagmire, and in a short time you'll understand why I've titled our topic that way. Today I'd like us to focus on self-esteem when it comes to young leaders. Okay, let's begin. So for any kind of a leader, okay, any person who intends to become a leader, any person who has noticed that you are a leader, you need to have self-esteem. Okay, self-esteem is the confidence that backs up your calling to lead. So before you stand up, before you present yourself to lead, you need to have gone through a journey and a process that prepares you for what lies ahead. This journey is informed by a preparation process that equips you with the necessary skills and knowledge that you require in order to be an effective leader. And one thing that is very important is the confidence that you have in yourself, okay, in your ability to be able to become an effectual leader. You cannot present yourself to lead people when you yourself have not reached a certain level of confidence. Does it mean that you will have everything sorted out? No. Does it mean that your confidence will be at 100%? No. But you need to have a certain considerable level of confidence and belief in yourself to be able to be effective in this position. So this is what we call the self-esteem of a leader. And self-esteem gives you the motivation, okay, and the confidence that you require to be able to stand by what you believe in, okay, and believe that whatever you stand for will be effective. Every leader has a problem that you're solving. As a leader, there is a burden that you have. Your burden for society is what propels you into leadership. Before coming forth to solve a problem, you need to have a solution in mind that you're coming to present forth. And this solution needs to have been tested before you present it, okay, to the people. And the self-esteem that you have as a leader is backed by the process that you undergo in the background in preparation for your unveiling as a leader. So before you are unveiled, before you present yourself, you need to have critically analyzed the problem or the burden that you have for society and sort of come up with a solution that you want to present to handle this burden or problem. You need to have tested whether this solution is viable or not. You need to have done your own research so that when you are coming to present it forth, you are backed up with evidence, you are backed up with tests, you are backed up with facts that you have undertaken that support what you're coming to present forth as a solution. So this is what gives you the confidence. And this confidence contributes to the self-esteem. So self-esteem is a combination of a number of things, okay? But ideally, it focuses on your confidence. And confidence is also divided into various categories. There is confidence in the solution that you're presenting. So you need to, first of all, understand what problem are you coming to solve. So you need to have confidence in your knowledge of the problem. You need to have confidence in your knowledge of the solution. You need to have confidence in your ability to communicate the solution to the people. Or if you don't have the ability to communicate, you have a team that is able to communicate. So I would divide this confidence into three things. Your confidence and awareness of what the problem is, your confidence in understanding what the solution is, and your confidence in understanding or in being able to communicate what you're presenting forth. So self-esteem, if I should break it down in my own understanding, is broken down into the confidence that you have in the role that you play. And this role that you play is pegged on three major pillars: the problem that you're solving, the solution that you're bringing forth, and your ability to communicate. So the confidence in these three individual pillars, when brought together, they summarize your overall confidence. And when you have this overall confidence, it boosts your self-esteem as a person. So you can look at it from an inward dimension, which is the confidence in your competence. And then there is confidence in your warmth. Okay, I don't want to lose you. So what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is confidence in yourself. Okay, so you as a person, you as a leader, you need to have confidence in yourself. But self is a general thing. So what exactly do you need to have confidence in? You need to have confidence in your ability, because a leader is a person who is coming forth to solve a problem in society or a burden. So your ability to understand a problem gives you confidence, because you have taken time to research the problem, to look at the demerits and the merits of it and the various angles and dimensions of this problem. So you have done extensive research to understand the problem. Then you have a solution. You have done your background work on the solution. You have tested your solution. You have done the various things required to prove the effectiveness of your solution. Then there is the third bit, which is now your ability to communicate this thing, the problem and the solution, to the public. So you can understand a problem, you can have a solution, but if you don't know how to communicate to the world, no one will ever know that you have this thing. So you need to be able to know the problem, understand the problem, have a solution, understand the solution, then be able to communicate this to the world. So when you know your problem, you have confidence in understanding the problem. When you have a solution, you have confidence in the solution that you bring forth. When you are able to communicate this to the public, then you have confidence in your ability to make people to understand what thing you're coming to solve as a leader. These things together, they build your overall confidence, which then contributes to what we call positive or a person with self-esteem. Okay? Let me take it a bit further. Self-esteem can also be divided into two parts. There's what I call the warmth dimension and then the competence dimension. So, warmth and competence. Warmth carries the communication skills, the ability to communicate to people. Competence carries the two remaining that I talked about, your understanding of the problem and your solution to the problem. So those two fall under competence. The ability to communicate falls under warmth. So when we look at it in this dimension, it gives us the understanding of warmth and competence. Then under warmth, we have the ability to communicate. Under competence, we have the understanding of the problem and the solution that you bring forth. So your self-esteem is a product of warmth and competence. Okay? As a leader, you need to have these two capacities. You need to have the capacity to be a warm person and a competent person. A warm person means you are able to communicate to people, you are able to connect to people, you are receptive to people, people receive your communication, you are able to articulate yourself to people, you are able to understand people, meaning your interaction with people is at par. Your social cues have been worked on. You know how to communicate to people. You know how to go to the level of people and diffuse the information that you want. You know how to engage people to receive from what they give you. So you have worked on your ability to disseminate information and your ability to receive information. Information is received in various ways. So you need to create an environment with people that makes them feel comfortable around you, that communication is seamless. So these competence cues, these warmth cues are like, smiling, nodding, soft spokenness. You need to be able to make people feel warm. You need to be courteous in your speaking. Use words such as please, may I, sorry. So you need to have worked on yourself to make yourself be presentable to people, in that you make people feel comfortable enough around you, and you also make yourself feel comfortable around environments that are not familiar to you. This is what we call the warmth cues. So you need to create an environment that makes it warm enough for people to feel like they can trust you. Okay? So the warmth aspect focuses on trust. Okay? When you are warm, people open up. You are opening an avenue that people can trust you. So the warmth dimension brings about the aspect of trust. Then there's the competent side of it. The competent part of it brings about the aspect of reliability. So you need to be able to understand a specific problem, and you need to be able to have a solution. Okay? So your capacity to understand a problem and have a solution for it shows that you are a reliable person in solving that particular issue or problem. So competence indicates reliability. Warmth indicates trust. So a person with good self-esteem, if there's a word like that, needs to be both trustworthy and reliable. When you talk to people, they can take your word for it because you portray trust, you radiate trust by your demeanor, your expression. What you release to people signifies trust. But you also need to be reliable in that you know your stuff. You know what you're coming to do. You know the ins and the outs. You have done your research. You have worked on everything that needs to be worked on. So self-esteem is not something that you just stumble upon. It is a work that you need to invest in because as a leader, you need to have the belief in yourself that you're able to deliver. Your ability to deliver is pegged on these two factors that I've mentioned: your ability to be warm and your ability to be competent. And in competence, I have further divided it into your ability to understand a problem and bring a solution. And a warm is your ability to communicate. When you are able to communicate, it shows trustworthiness. When you have an ability to solve a problem, it shows reliability. So people who have the right self-esteem that is good need to be able to show a dimension of reliability, okay, and trustworthiness. So the kind of leaders that we are supposed to be is not hinged on either competence or warmth. You need to find a balance of both. You need to be a person who is able to communicate the problem and the solution, but you also have the ability to connect with people. Because the reason why we have so many leaders who are lopsided is because we have leaders who are competent but do not have the social skills. So you're good at having the problem and everything and the solution, but you don't know how to communicate this to people. So you are overlooked, or you come up with a solution but other people take credit for it because you have not worked on your warmth cues. And we also have leaders who are warm. They are connecting with people, they are loving and all these things, they are empathetic, but they're not competent because they don't know how to solve the problem. So they make you feel good, they tell you good things, but when it comes to work and service delivery, they are incompetent. But we also have leaders who are competent in doing the work, but they cannot connect with people. So people are not robots. So the ideal formula to working on your self-esteem needs to carry a mixture of warmth and competence, trustworthiness and reliability. So when you work on these things, you'll find out that the self-esteem comes naturally. Because if you know what you're called to do, you know what you're supposed to fix, you know how your solution works, you have tested it, you have applied it, it means you have belief in the thing that you're bringing forth. And then if you have worked on your warmth cues, it means you know how to communicate to people. You know how to read the room. You know how to regulate the emotions of people when they are hyper, when they are angry. You know how to bring people to the right frequency so that they can receive what you're bringing forth as a person. So self-esteem is a very primary thing for any young leader, or for any leader for that sake. But young leaders especially because this is a channel that is for equipping young leaders, you need to work on your self-esteem. And self-esteem is not about going online and just getting self-motivating speeches. Yes, those are good. You can motivate yourself how good you are and all these things. But at the end of the day, if you don't understand your craft, if you don't understand how to connect with people, then all that stuff that you've learned online will be a waste. Or you'll go somewhere and you will be interrogated with someone who is intellectual and they will see that you're a fraud. So competence and warmth boosts your self-esteem so that you are what you say you are. Okay, you're not faking it. You're not presenting a version of yourself that is a replica. You're not presenting something that is fake. When your internal proclamations match your external presentation, then self-esteem flows naturally because you are one. Your internal and your external are one. You are what you say. You are what you believe. You're not preaching water and drinking wine. No. You have actually worked on your craft. You actually have a solution that works, and you have the ability to communicate with people and let people come into your space, understand what you are doing and what you're providing, and you also have the capacity to tolerate divergent views received from people. So it is a thing that you need to work on yourself. You need to develop your social skills. Okay, just start this information. It's online. How to communicate, how to talk to people, how to make people feel calm around you. And then now there's the part of having the solution and understanding the problem, because primarily that is what equips you, or that is what summons you to be a leader, the problem that you're fixing. But on top of the problem that you're fixing, you also need to work on your social skills. When you merge these two, the problem solving plus the ability to communicate, it boosts your self-esteem as a leader. And therefore you'll be able to speak with confidence, you'll be able to articulate yourself well, you'll be able to have that, calmness whenever you're called to speak to people, because you have an understanding of what you're coming to say. People who lack self-esteem, most of the times, they have a deficit of what they're coming to do. So probably they don't have full knowledge of what they're coming to present, or they have not worked on their social skills. So they feel nervous, they become anxious, and therefore they're not able to maintain a calm posture long enough to communicate to the people. So as a leader, this is a vital skill that you need to work on, because every leader needs to have the ability to communicate to people. A good leader is able to simplify communication to a level that the average person can understand what you're communicating. And you also need to have the same intellect that allows you to read different rooms and situations so that you can come down to the level of the people, understand their concerns, then elevate it to bring forth a solution that can take care of the concerns of the people. So there is that dynamics that you need to be flexible in your thought process as a leader, and also work on the triggers that make you anxious. Bring them under control, because any leader, you're called to interact with people. So you need to love the people, or you need to train yourself to feel comfortable around people. So when I talked about the self-esteem quagmire, this was just basically bringing to light that we have young potential leaders. We have leaders who have shades of leadership, they have traces of leadership, but they lack the self-esteem. So work on your craft and work on your social skills, then you're going to improve the level of self-esteem that you emanate or radiate as a young leader. And I hope that this has made sense to you. That's it for today. I pray that it makes sense and that it's something that you will apply in your life as a young leader. On that juncture, I'd like to call it an end for today. Thank you for taking your time to watch until the end, and I pray that you will like, share and subscribe to this channel, and hopefully I will see you for my next video. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. Cheers guys, God bless you. Until next time.